very good to follow. So today I'm going to talk about the heart. Heart. Dil that we all have, that gives us the life. A poet says in Urdu that हरम और दैर के कतबे वो देखे जिसको फुर्सत है. And I see only one person that speaks Urdu here, right? But I am translating. हरम और दैर के कतबे वो देखे जिसको फुर्सत है. यहाँ हद्दे नजर तक सिर्फ उन्वाने मोहब्बत है. जहाँ वो है वहाँ दिल है, जहाँ दिल है वहाँ सब कुछ. मगर पहले मकाम दिल समझने की जरूरत है. The poet says that the sign, when I am walking through the journey of life, who has the time to look at the sign, which side is the Islam and the believers and which side is those that do not believe? Because from what I see till the end of my vision, all I see is love and love alone. So he's drawing upon the message of Islam where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I am love, I like to love, and I have created this universe for love so that they can actually recognize me and learn to love me. So this poet has used that probably as a guide to write a beautiful long poem, but these two verses that I quoted are basically giving us an invitation to understand what heart is. So translated in English, he says, I have no time to really see the signs which way is right, which way is wrong for me, till the end of my vision, wherever I can see. All I see is love. So, we as human beings, creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, are supposed to take care of each other. Some of us have been given the role of being real believers and sticking to the guidelines, doing everything by the books. Others may not be so fortunate, and yet many others do not even believe in the being of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not for us to hate anyone because of what they are doing. These are all challenges and opportunities around us to be good, to do good, and face these difficulties and challenges to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me say it again. If somebody is out there saying bad things about Islam or our holy places or whatever, instead of getting angry and fighting, try to see how you can get closer to that person. Try to guide that person. And if you cannot, and if you have to really walk away, do so in such a way that you do not really make the situation worse than it actually is. Your behavior there would really affect the person. There are instances and stories that you read in our books where people were actually misguided and tried to do certain things that were really very pleasant. And yet by seeing the behavior of the believers, behavior of those who believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once they saw them how kind and merciful and forgiving they were, they actually changed their ways and some of them became believers and Muslims. So this is the essence. First thing that is easy to understand is that there should be no hate in our hearts for anyone. Trying to see why somebody is the way that person is and hope that you can do something to make them feel a little bit better. Now this is concerning faith. But forget the faith. If you take the situation of people that are around you, even if faith is not a matter of discussion, you may find them in their actions and in what they do and their habits, things that you do not like. Even there the idea is not to look upon them as somebody that is inferior to you or useless or worthless, but find that as an opportunity to help somebody to change their behavior and hope that you can save them from punishment of hellfire and bring them to the light of Iman. So that is point number one. Try to love the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He has created all of us. He loves all His creation. And He wants us to be compassionate for each other, one another. Point number one. Point number two is heart. Because the source of love is heart. How do we understand our heart? Do we know what heart is? Do we really understand where is the heart and what does it do? If we feel that this is an organ that pumps the blood, that makes us have a circulation in our body, that may be a symbolic true statement, and yet specifically what heart is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in His scripture, in His book, is a concept that is a little bit difficult to understand. That is the site of ruh, where our life is, and where exactly anatomically in this heart that ruh is. Science cannot tell us. We cannot really understand where it is. We know it's in our chest, but where it is and how can we view it, nurture it, and make it much more shiny, reflective of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's qualities. That is something that we have to understand. A very famous poet that is resting now in Konya, Turkey, Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, he says in one couplet, he says that Dil badastawar ke hajj akbarast az hazaran kaaba yak dil betarast. This is Persian. Translated simply in English, Dil badastawar. Try to grab hold of your heart. Try to understand your heart. Try to take possession of your heart. Own your heart. Why? Because this particular act is Hajj Akbar. Hajj Akbar is the Hajj that is on Friday and is usually understood to be the Hajj that will be acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he says, if you can be in control of your heart, and if you understand it, then this is an ibadah, a worship that is better than 1,000 Hajj Akbars. It's a big lofty statement, a poetic statement, but basically what he means is that this is the best of the ibadah that you can do. Dil badast aala, dil ko haath mein le aao, ki Hajj Akbar, this is like Hajj Akbar, an hadaran kaaba, hadar kaabo se yak dil, ek dil behtar is better. So, biggest worship or ibadah you can do is grab a hold of your heart. Try to understand what heart is and try to nurture it and keep it pure and clean. So inshallah, after Azan, when we come back, I will take it from there and then try to see how we can cleanse our heart. How can we understand our heart, cleanse it, and develop to the point that by doing so, we are getting the benefit of Hazaru Hajj Akbars. Thousands of Hajj. You can go to Hajj, you can circumambulate around Kaaba 7 times and do all the other acts of worship, and yet you may not be sure whether this is accepted or not, because that day you may not have eaten something that is halal, you may not have bought your ticket with the money that was halal, you may actually have said something bad about somebody when you were walking around, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like it and may not accept your Hajj. But this is very simple. Heart is within your chest. Try to understand it, cleanse it, keep it pure, and this is better than any other ibadah that you can think of. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us the way to keep our hearts clean and pure, make them shiny and reflective like a mirror, so that we can see the image and the light and the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then be guided by it. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum.